All right, so the intent is that this is the dashboard, and all of these buttons are operational. There's still some work that needs to be done, but it's supposed to be a timer that tracks your productivity for specific tasks. If you get distracted by social media, or you need to there's a task that you're working on, you need more professional development on, or some self-care, that you're able to not only designate or sort of mark or track that those things happen, but also to be able to set a timer, which I still need to work on, to be able to basically create some sort of accountability mechanism. So if you say that you're going to get back at a certain time, so here it says 8 minutes and 30 seconds. If it were 10 minutes, if you were to go back and stop and record that you actually got back to work, then there is a way to track that. So what this turns into is for something like your tracking task, like in your to-do list, it allows you to keep track not only of the progress that you're making, but also when you hit deadlines, there's like an integrity score. So if you were to look at your milestones or input a task, you can actually go in and select your task type, whether it's like a self-care, professional development. You can set your start time, end time, if you need to add it to the calendar. You can do that and even set recurring time, and then as you save that, set a priority type, and then when you can submit that, it'll take you back to the previous screen. So in the case of this guy, that just puts you right back at the dashboard. So if you want to add a custom image, you're able to do that. Still need to work on these buttons here and close out of that. And then thinking about what these sort of menu buttons are, we can kind of go through and see what those flows look like. So you've already seen the deadlines. This is your appointment. Oh, hey, look, you have an appointment. This is like the reminder modal that pops up. So that's how that would function, and it gives you sort of upcoming dates. You'll go to view your priorities. Once you input all of the information, all of that information that was captured can actually show you not only like what kinds of tasks were distractions, but sort of how many high cognitive tasks that you have. So if you have a big week coming up ahead, and you know that you've got 8 very high cognitive tasks, you might want to allocate more time for self-care, or if they're like hobbies. These are just ranked sort of in the Covey quadrant model for urgency and importance. So the most important urgent task would be ranked as a Q1. So it allows you to rank your priorities based on what's important to you, without sort of forcing you to it's not going to be the same for everyone. So it allows you to sort of customize that in a very quick way. So inputting tasks, I think that we just went through that. So we'll go out of that, and it puts you right back. Close out of priorities. So let's see. I think we looked at the to-do. Go to the calendar. Because you've already input tasks, that should populate here in the calendar. If you need to schedule an appointment, you have the option to do that. And so that's similar. One thing that is a little bit different, like this will put you in the calendar loop, but one thing that's a little bit different is that you're also able to input an address. So this puts you sort of with the Google Map AI, and then once you submit that, it just puts you back here. You submit your appointment, and then it just sends you back to where you were. So you want to close out of that and go back to the dashboard and see nudges. So I want to work on this a little bit. Here's a pop-up. It's really kind of based on these metrics, and it might actually be easier if I go to metrics first. This is just data that's collected based on the timestamps that you create in the priority rankings that just tracks, it just sort of quantifies, looks like I need to finish that. This would be telling you, can zoom in if you can't see that very well, how many hours a day you spend for different tasks. So like sleep, self-care, things that are important to you, how much time is spent on distractions, and then how much time you actually spend being productive. So, and it doesn't designate right now the different types of distractions, or I guess we did sort of mark those. So are they like distractions? Are they like things that you care about? How balanced is this time? And there is an integrity score here that basically is based upon, we'll close back out of here for a second. When you have a nudge that tells you that maybe you have a sleep deficit or you have to take a distraction, it gives you the opportunity to set a timer or set an appointment for when you're going to come back. And as you verify with the pop-up that you are back or close out, there's some sort of indication. And we may need to rethink just the X boxes because I'm noticing that that's kind of, it doesn't capture the information as much as confirmation would, that you get a score for doing what you said that you were going to do. And so that's the goal of the integrity score here. You can actually see, you'll be able to click on these and see how your metrics compare. This is here where we see like big rises and falls in self-care. This could be the weekend, and then as the week progresses, it falls down, and then another weekend, that might be a pattern. Your distraction level may decrease as you have more time for rest. So the goal of this is to give you an opportunity to track that behavior just using some qualitative or quantitative measures, by assigning if-then statements and values that would allow you to actually go back and not just track your productivity, but how you're actually managing your time. And that gives you information, it doesn't create a judgment necessarily for you not, it doesn't pass judgment. It just allows you to have good data that allows you to know what works for you. So it could be that if you notice that you're getting more distractions when you're getting tired, but you have a sleep deficit, that it can give you information or a nudge that lets you know, hey, you have earned a bit of rest. And down the road, we can start like programming tips and stuff as well that just sort of say, we noticed that when you get less sleep, your distractions go up. Did you want to schedule a nap? Something that becomes intuitive as people start to use this to track their time. So I think we've gone through these. We've gone through the input task and scheduling appointments. I think that we're basically where we can be. There's still some features that I need to go in and add, but this is helpful to know what's missing. Like with here, there's some stuff that needs to be built out, but I thought that this was fun.